Have you dug out of your home yet? I just got out of the igloo that I made. I'm Joel D. Smith. We're going to bring in all of our reporters here. We gave you that great coverage yesterday, and we are not done yet. We are going city by city to see what the issues are, who's dug out, who's still in trouble, and some rules you guys need to know about as well. We're starting with our meteorologists. We have Ed Russo and Tom Russell. Let's take you through where we are right now, everybody, and see what is on the horizon as well. I know we're talking about super cold. We'll start with Tom.
All right, no snow. Back to you.
Start, yes.
No snow. But here's what we're worried about, guys. As you take a look at that graphic with us, you can see dangerous wind chills overnight. So temperatures are going to go into the single digits, and these are the future wind chills. So I stopped this here about 6 a.m. Where -6 is what it feels like in Harrisburg, -10 in Millersburg, -10 in York. So we've declared tomorrow a CBS 21 weather warn day. Obviously, this isn't just your average cold. This is frigid. This is some dangerous wind chill action into the double digits negatively. So, Joel, that is just super cold. And what happens is we lay down that blanket of snow everywhere, and it just reinforces that already cold air. And what's happening overnight is we're getting this Arctic blast once again. So that's why the winds are already picking up. And then we see those wind chills go below zero. How's that feel? These are the temperatures, single digits. Look out towards State College. That's air temperature there at -1. So this is serious cold.
Yeah, some schools are already calling off for tomorrow as well. Ed, what do you notice about these temperatures you want to add real quick?
Hey, everyone. I'm having trouble hearing, so I'm not quite sure if you asked me a question or not. But if you can hear me, I'm still going to show you some of the interesting things that happened with our snowfall. We got a lot of sleet with this storm. We're talking about an 1.5 inches of sleet on top of 8 to 10 inches of snow that fell across the region. So want to show you this shovel right here. So I just scooped this from the parking lot, and this is like Mother Nature's layered cake. So this is the sleet on top. That was about 1.5 inches. It's compacted, and underneath, this is where you have all of the powdery snow. So this is why the snow got super heavy last night. So a shovel full of powdery snow is about 10 to 15 pounds. When you add sleet to it, we're talking about up to 20 to 30 pounds per shovel scoop. And then when you get the packed snow that's been packed down by the plows, we're talking about a shovel full weight of almost 40 to 50 pounds. So this is why you really have to know the motion with how to shovel snow like this. You want to make sure you bend the knees. Do not lift with your back. Trust me, once you lift wrong in these types of situations, you're going to feel it right away. Yeah. So
we feel it more than
we're going to have more demonstrations of this coming up on CBS 21 News at 5. But yeah, this is basically Mother Nature's wedding cake. You've got the sleet on top, the icing, and then the powdery stuff on the bottom.
All right, let's let Ed go. I don't think he's hearing us well anyway, but great demonstration. Thanks a lot, Ed. And now we're going to bring in TJ Anthony. We talked about how heavy this stuff is, how hard it is to move, and it was a challenge for a lot of these cities. Which city were you looking at today? Unmute yourself, TJ.
I was in and out throughout Harrisburg City today. Got to check out a couple of neighborhoods, including downtown, uptown, Allison Hill, really just throughout the area. And what I noticed, it was really the uptown area that seemed like the hardest hit, and the area where a lot of people were kind of struggling with their cars and vehicles. Allison Hill looked pretty good, as well as 2nd Street looked pretty good as well. And you saw Ed kind of do that demonstration with the sleet. That's what really made it difficult for city crews out there yesterday, was navigating that. A lot of people woke up today in Harrisburg and said, the roads, what's going on? They didn't look too good, according to a lot of residents in the city. So that's why city crews were out there today. And they said they're on 8-hour shifts right now, but they said they're working an unlimited amount of time to make sure that the roads are better.
I wonder why. I mean, we have other, cities around, York, Lancaster. They seem to be more cleared than Harrisburg today. So it's not an easy answer, but I don't know if we got closer to figuring out why that might have happened.
Well, the crews, they were out here yesterday when the snow was falling, and they said that sleet made it very difficult for them. So they said as soon as they would clear the roads, the snow just kept piling back on. And Harrisburg did reach a record-setting snowfall. According to the National Weather Service, Harrisburg had 12.5 inches fall here Sunday. That's breaking a one-day record that was set in 1988. So Harrisburg did receive significant amount of snow, so maybe that's why it was different, when it came to plowing the roads here versus.
Yeah, I don't know. It makes you wonder. Okay, anything else you want to add? Because we're looking at some great video here. And where are things at now? Like, did they eventually catch up?
Yeah, right now things are looking very good throughout the city. That snow, or it seemed like the sun rather, kind of helped melt that slushy mix on the roadways. I noticed a very big difference driving around Harrisburg at 10 a.m. compared to around 1 p.m. There was such a significant difference. Also, one more thing, city crews do want people to make sure that they do not plow into the street. They want to make sure that people plow away from the street because they're noticing more and more people are plowing into the street, which is kind of, just throwing that snow out there.
Yeah.
And that means they have to kind of rework those routes again.
Yeah. When you say plow, I know you mean shovel, but yeah.
Shovel, rather, yeah.
All right, TJ, thank you very much, sir. I want to bring Chief Meteorologist Tom Russel back in for a second on this. When we're talking about where things are now, and did the sleet hit Harrisburg more than any other location? Or was it pretty consistent across our area?
It was pretty consistent. What surprised me is how far north it comes. We knew it was going to hit our southern counties, but yeah, it did reach Harrisburg and even a little bit north of Harrisburg. And that all happened about the same time. For most of us, it was shortly after noontime yesterday, which was pretty early in the storm. So yeah, it affected everybody, Joel D. But there was a unique situation where we went back to snow, at least briefly, in the mid-afternoon. So we started with some sleet and went back to some snow. So some of us got a little snow on top of that.
All right, Maxine, she's outside, so we'll let her go next and see what she's covering today. All right, Maxine, what do you have for us? Can't hear you right now. Let's get her mic on.
Sorry, it's hard to hear when you're trying to wear gloves outside here. Okay, so we are in Lancaster County right now. We're just stopping to get gas in the New Holland area. But we went out to East Earl today. We met up with the Lancaster Snow Angels. That's who you see working away there. They talked to us about their record numbers this time around. This is their 6th season doing this, and this is one of the most difficult they've ever had to deal with, they said.
Maxine, record numbers as in terms of how many people they helped or how many people they had to help?
No. So it's the record number of how many people they have to help. So mind you, this only really hitting us yesterday, right? They're in the beginning stages of this removal process, but that's 200 people on their list, almost 200 people. They said that they're right on the brink of that with several people. More than several. I don't even know what specifically, but they couldn't even say. A lot of people that are on that wait list. And so they've actually now, Joel D, had to completely stop anyone from, asking for that help. So they've had to basically put a hold on even their wait list.
Yeah. What does that mean? How long until they can get to some people?
Well, it really depends day to day, right? But here you have, that's the president and founder and a junior volunteer working on one home there. And then they have about, they're thinking for Lancaster City, it's going to take them, 4 or 5 days to get through.
Are they taking more volunteers? It seems like you don't need to be trained or anything. You just need a warm body here.
Yeah. So they're saying that they just need people who are kind-hearted, willing to put in the work. This is a lot. And I want to go back to actually what Ed was saying, what everybody really has said today, right? The hardest part is that sleet. So it's adding to that extra layer, that extra weight. So you're going to need someone who is strong, who, does know how to properly shovel, who wants to really help and do it for free. These are the people that the Lancaster Snow Angels are helping are, people who are disabled, seniors, veterans, people who are in,
you need to at least clear the area so if there's an emergency, they can get out and do some things. So I know that's important as well. Yeah.
And they go to appointments. Like people have to get to their mailbox if they've got prescriptions. Joldy, there's a lot. There's a lot of people that need help. And I did ask the president today, why do you think there is that increase? Why are we seeing this record number of people on your list this time around? and she said it's because of visibility, right? We've covered the Lynx or Snow Angels for quite a few years now.
Okay.
Many of the stations across Central PA, and more people are saying, yes, I
People
need
know
that.
about it, so they want to jump in on this. Yeah, makes sense.
Yes, that's exactly what I need. But the problem is that as visibility is growing, the amount of volunteers is not. So
Got it. Okay.
they really need
Hey,
all the help.
it's a call for volunteers today. Then that's what it is. If you're feeling good and you can deal with this stuff, and the more the merrier, you can knock this out a lot faster with some more hands and help. All right, thanks a lot, Maxine. Yep, we'll see you. Yasmin Cowan's in York to see what's going on there. How does that compare to what you heard TJ say in Harrisburg?
Well, the main thing here in York is that residents are running out of time because the city says they have until Tuesday to clean off their sidewalks. When I was in a lot of neighborhoods in York City, a lot of the sidewalks are still covered with snow, and there's residents still having to use their snow blowers, having to shovel. I mean, one local told me that they're frustrated with the city because, yes, they're plowing the streets, but they're putting a lot of the snow on the sidewalks where they can't even walk.
Right. And as we heard, you're not supposed to shovel onto the street, and you're running out of space to clear it off. And so you're stuck with building up some pretty high mounds on whatever property's left, right?
Yeah, and that will pose as an issue for a lot of residents because if you're caught doing that, you will get a fine. And I also reached out to the city and said, hey, how much will these fines cost? All they could tell me was that if your property was not previously cited within the last year, they'll give you a warning, but they couldn't give you an exact number of how much they're going to ticket people.
Well, that's a great point because when you're sort of out of options and you have to clear the sidewalk, but you have nowhere to put it, you might be willing to eat the fine depending on how much it is. So I'm glad you asked that. We got to stay on top of that for an answer. Anything else you want to add as we're taking a look at some of the streets here? Was it pretty clear? Let's talk about the roads itself. I know that wasn't your real angle today, but when you drove around, how did it look in York?
I would say the roads compared to York are a little bit better than Harrisburg, but there's still quite a bit of snow on the ground. I mean, when I was driving into the city, I saw a car was a little tipped over. There was a police car behind it. I mean, the snow was posing as a serious issue. I mean, even when I was trying to speak to someone in one of the neighborhoods, I said, hey, can I speak with you about what you're doing? And he said, I don't want to talk right now because I'm putting the snow in the street because I'm frustrated. So some people are putting it purposely in the street because they're frustrated that they have to take on the responsibility to clean up themselves. But the city says they are heavily relying on residents because they're short-staffed, because their staff is burnt out, and they're really focusing on just getting help from everyone because they need it.
It's one of those hidden features of home ownership. You're responsible for that area, whether you like it or not. And you got to keep an eye on that stuff. We'll see if anybody's cited on this. Like you said, I mean, it is a rule, it is a law, but how they enforce it is always kind of the quirky part of all this. All right, Yasmin, thanks. We'll see you later on the shows. All right, folks, there you have it. A whip around the entire area. We were in Lancaster, we were in York, we were in Harrisburg, and we got some interesting information from the meteorologist. So thanks for joining us. Hopefully you were able to enjoy some of our coverage yesterday as well while you were safe and sound. And our goal is to show you what's happening so you don't have to go out and see for yourself. So we appreciate that. And don't forget, this isn't over. You can still be a part of the process. Add those photos to our website. I made an igloo as well. These are some great pictures. You guys are part of the action. We're all in this together. So go to our website, and it's the Chime In section, and you can add to some of these photos. We love these galleries, and I'm sure we'll use some of these pictures on our newscast as well. So thanks for being here for 21 Next. I'm Joel D. Smith. Stay warm. We'll see you next time.